The show where there are no penalties, nothing is offside, and everything is fair game. This is The Gloves Are Off.
Welcome to this week's edition of The Gloves Are Off. I'm Moses Woldu, and we got some great topics for you, from the NCAA basketball tournament, of course, to the NHL, and the Pittsburgh Penguins making some great deals, looking to at least get another Stanley Cup run. Before we get to those, I want to get to you first. Greg Buchanan, CBC radio announcer, plus you're also the Junior B Bandits GM. How you doing?
Not too bad, Moses, not too bad. You got the spring colors on?
Trying to. There's so much snow and muck out there. I'm trying to at least brighten up the studio or whatever I can. So small stages, but that's how it works. No small stature for you, sir. Eric Block-Hansen, the assistant coach to the men's Rustlers basketball team. How are you doing?
Good. Thank you for having me, Moses. I see you're getting ready for Easter with the mauve and sweater.
Yeah, I'm sure you enjoy the fashion sense. I'm more than happy to give you the tips as we go along. But that is for another time. We're going to talk about sports. And we'll talk about the Pittsburgh Penguins right off the hop. Ray Shero making some great deals, picking up Brandon Morrow on Sunday. And just yesterday, they picked up Douglas Murray, a big, gritty defenseman that will help them in the back end as well, like they need any help, really. And they didn't give up much. They gave up prospect to get Morrow, and they gave up a couple picks. They gave up a 2013 pick in the second round and a conditional pick in 2014 for Douglas Murray. So if you look at these deals, do you think the Pittsburgh Penguins are done, or could they maybe make another surprise and grab another forward perhaps?
Even if they are done, they did a great job. And if they want to grab one more, they'll even be better. But you look at the Eastern Conference, it's a war to win. And Pittsburgh found out they didn't win the war against Philadelphia last year. They lost the battles along the boards. They lost the battles in the corners. They got beat up by a Philadelphia Flyer team. I think with David Murray, what's he, about 300 pounds? He's a huge tank on the back end, and he's a force, and Morrow's got a lot more grit. So, I like what Pittsburgh did, and they may add and may tinker a little bit to the roster before the deadline's done.
This speaks to something that I call that's fundamentally wrong with the NHL. You've got these big guys who literally plug up that little ice surface so that the skilled guys like Crosby and Malkin can't operate.
But it's nice for those big guys to be on the team with Malkin and Crosby so they can create some space.
Yeah, I get that, but they need to go to a bigger ice surface to open it up. Scoring's down, I'm sure, and it's regular season.
Crosby.
Yeah, he's
there. One of the exceptions. But no, do you think this is actually, do you think they're going to make another deal? I think that's the question. Because Pittsburgh is, and Ray Shero is known for doing this. Yeah. He's like, look, I want to win a Stanley Cup now, but I don't want to sacrifice too much, but I know winning at this present moment means more than, say, winning 15, 20 years a la Edmonton Oilers, who knows whenever they'll win with their group of young players. But he's smart enough to know to make the right deals, and he's made some fantastic ones, giving up very little, in my opinion.
How much room has he got with the salary cap? I think that will dictate a lot to what kind of moves he makes.
Yeah, it'd be kind of interesting. How's this for a name that goes back to Pittsburgh? Yager.
Oh, that's right. That's another guy from Dallas.
Yeah.
But here's another one I'll have to bring up for you. Jarome Iginla. He's said he'll waive his no-trade clause if he goes to one of these four teams. There's Detroit on the outside looking in, but Chicago, Boston, LA, and Pittsburgh were the four that he mentioned, and he gave to GM Jay Feaster. Now, Pittsburgh might be a little bit different, because considering they picked up Morrow, but who knows? But do you see him going to places like LA or Chicago, considering that they're in the Western Conference?
They are in the Western, but Chicago moves next year.
Fair enough.
The realignment. He may go to LA because of Sutter. They have a great relationship. And they're even talking maybe Vancouver, but I think the Flames would be stupid to do that. Because you don't want to give away a guy like Iginla, who's been the face of that franchise for how many years now. You don't want to have him come back into your barn and beat you, because that's nothing more embarrassing than a guy that you traded away that beats you on your own rink. I like possibly him going to Chicago, but definitely going out east somewhere.
I'll say Jay Feaster loves embarrassing himself, because he's done it plenty of time during the season. But do you think Iggy going to the east is probably more likely? Boston, Pittsburgh, elsewhere?
I think, again, a lot of it boils down to dollars and who's got the most room with their salary cap. And I see him probably being a better fit with Detroit, simply the way they play and they've cleared some cap space. And again, he's in the East, getting him out of the West.
That'd be a smart thing for
But
him.
I think more right now, the Flames are under the gun to trade him. There's been so much talk about trading IGINLA that almost to the fact that if they don't trade him at the deadline, there's going to be a lot of upset Flames fans. Now, you wouldn't have probably said that a year ago, but I think the Flames fans have finally realized we're not going anywhere. Let's rebuild this thing. You know, it's like throwing another coat of paint in a 1972 Pinto. It's still a 1972 Pinto. You know, you're not going anywhere. Let's rebuild.
Hey, let's talk about a guy who's kind of rebuilt himself a little bit, Alex Ovechkin. Starting to come back. He's on a 5-game point streak. He's looking pretty good, looking like the old Ovi that we once knew. Is he back, or is this just a little flash in the pan?
He's got too much talent, and everybody questions Ovi's heart, but I don't think it was that. I suspect the guy had a serious injury that he was hiding and not talking about. Because if you watch the way that he plays, he's a slam bang. He doesn't care. He'll run into anybody. He hasn't been doing that this year. So I was wondering if he was hurt, and now he's getting healthy again.
And he's also got other teammates that are healthy. That's been a big thing for the resurgence.
He's had the other teammates been healthy. He's also had 3 different coaches. You know, he had Boudreau, he had Hunter. Hunter, believe me, if he coached the way he played, or actually while he plays, he played like a hard-nosed kind of guy. I think he probably coached that same way too. And now with Adam Oates, I think Adam Oates is maybe being a welcome surprise for Ovechkin, and you know, he's finally picked up his game. Defensively, he's probably not as good as he was before. When he was struggling offensively, sometimes you pick up your game defensively, and that's what Ovi did. I think now he's more strong offensively and sometimes gives up a little bit in the defensive end of things.
Well, it comes down to systems with him, and I guess Adam Oates is finally building a system that's comfortable. Of course, early on, trying to put him on the opposite wing didn't work out so much. But it should be interesting to see what happens if he could keep this momentum going. Speaking of momentum, we're going to have to take a quick commercial break, but we'll be back with more Gloves Are Off.